Video footage of the incident sparked criticism in the Detroit suburb, and Rodriguez was fired weeks later, followed by a lawsuit filed by Smith. Rodriguez originally faced misdemeanor charges out of Macomb County, but the local prosecutor dismissed the charges, so a federal prosecution could move forward.
Black men are at a higher risk of death or dying from melanoma than other racial groups. A study in the Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology found of more than 200,000 cases of male patients diagnosed with cutaneous invasive melanoma from 2004 to 2018. The 5-year survival rate was the lowest for black men at around 51.5%. The rate of survival was highest among white men at just over 75%. Cutaneous melanoma originates in pigment-producing cells and is the most aggressive and fatal form of skin cancer.
Black women are at a much higher risk of maternal mortality than their peers. The United Nations says the disparity is most significant in the United States. Of 35 countries in the Americas, only 4 publish maternal mortality data by race, which examine the maternal health of women and girls of African descent in Brazil, Colombia, Suriname, and the United States. The United States had the lowest overall maternal mortality rate among those 4 nations. The report said black women and girls, though, were 3 times more likely than their peers to die during childbirth or shortly thereafter. And the love for a young black tennis player continuing to grow at Wimbledon. Details coming up next in sports. I'm Terry McCready along with Kevin Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Time now for traffic and weather.
On the Bay Area's BIN 910.
Wanted to get on the peninsula this time around. Have a new accident to tell you about in Redwood City. It's southbound 101 before Whipple Avenue. This is a 2-car crash blocking the left lane, and traffic slows down at Holly Street as a result. Also in San Mateo, eastbound 92 before Alameda de las Pulgas, we have a 2-car injury crash. That's been moved off to the right shoulder, but traffic still slows right at Hillsdale. Want to head back over to San Jose, keeping an eye on this earlier crash on southbound 280 near Highway 87. This is a 2-car crash. They have everything moved off to the right shoulder, but we still see a slowdown starting at 880. A look at your Bay Area weather. We will have clear skies tonight. Lows going to be dropping into the 50s and 60s. Sunny and warm again tomorrow. Highs in the inland locations in the 80s and 90s. With Bay Area traffic and weather, I'm Ricky Batiste on the Black Information Network.
This is America's Black Voice.
The Black Information Network. The Bay Area's BIN 910. I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910. African-American San Francisco Mayor London Breed is one of the highest-paid mayors among leaders in all California cities, according to numbers released last year. Her salary exceeding the compensation of mayors in cities with much larger populations, including Los Angeles, San Diego, and San Jose. According to newly released data from the California State Comptroller's Office, Breed's wages for 2022 were $357,000. Her retirement and health benefits of $87,000, her annual compensation jumped to $444,000. And the Oakland Finance Committee is voting on a salary increase of $75,000 for Mayor Xing Tao. Councilmember Noel Gallo says he'll vote no.
I will not be supporting that action, considering the fact that the financial condition that the city of Oakland is in today.
The San Francisco Chronicle reports, although Breed may have an unusually high salary relative to her peers, her compensation is still a fraction of what top managers at private companies would make, according to Stephen Falk, a former interim city administrator of Oakland and a longtime city official who has served in 6 California cities. And San Francisco Mayor London Breed and City Attorney David Chai pushed back last week against claims by homeless advocates in an ongoing lawsuit over the city's response to encampments, including accusing some unhoused people of refusing shelter offers. Lawyers for the advocacy group, the Council on Homelessness, and individual plaintiffs, they filed a lawsuit in September accusing the city of violating legal precedent and constitutional rights by making people move off the streets without having enough shelter to offer them. In December, a judge granted a preliminary injunction that temporarily banned San Francisco police from clearing most housing encampments, citing people for sleeping in public, and enforcing several other laws aimed at homeless people while the lawsuit is continuing. The The lawsuit has put Breed and city officials in a difficult position as some residents and businesses are pressuring her to clean up the encampments. Advocates behind the lawsuit want San Francisco to move resources from encampment sweeps to affordable housing and other initiatives to reduce homelessness. And the San Francisco committee has released its final set of recommendations to provide reparations to the city's black community, including potentially $5 million in payments meant to rectify some of the harm caused by generations of systemic racism. But it is far from clear whether those possible payments or any of the other recommendations from that committee will become reality in the near future. Board of Supervisors Shaman Walton pressed the issue at a recent meeting.
Speaking of investment, any plans to support the $50 million supplemental I introduced to fund the Office of Reparations, the staffing, the committee's approved recommendations, a database to locate eligible participants?
I have no plans at this time to support that request. Thank you.
That's some of the news happening around the Bay Area. I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910.
Want to make a difference? African American patients only have a 25% chance of finding a bone marrow match. Make a difference and join the National Bone Marrow Registry at bethematch.org.
Every 30 minutes on the Black Information Network. The Bay Area's BIN 910. Born into slavery in 1800 on a South Carolina plantation, when it was illegal for enslaved people to be literate, David Drake would become the first enslaved potter to inscribe his work, sometimes with poetry. I wonder where is all my relations? Friendship to all and every nation, an act of resistance that some speculate cost him his leg. Known as Dave the Potter, he produced alkaline glazed stoneware jugs. It is estimated he created as many as 40,000 pieces in his lifetime. Due to the systemic erasure of enslaved people's history, biographical information is sparse, but auction records indicate David Drake had several enslavers before emancipation. Recent attention to David's work has also exposed the art world's long-standing blind spot for the utilitarian, even though jugs and quilts were the only available outlet for subjugated genius. In 2020, one of his jugs sold for $369,000. His descendants have received no reparations. And that's a fact. I'm Weston Tishome for the Black Information Network.
Our news, available anywhere. Tell your smart device to play the Black Information Network station on iHeartRadio.
If it matters to the black community, a lawsuit that was looking for reparations related to the 1921 Tulsa race massacre has been dismissed.
It's on the Black Information Network.
I just want to know what happened to him that Saturday when you walked out this door.
24/7 News and analysis.
And the Tennessee Department of Transportation is seizing land from black farmers and landowners using eminent domain.
You'll only get here.
The Bay Area's BIN 910 and on the iHeartRadio app. Bank of America Corporation is proud to be a founding partner who shares and supports the mission of the Black Information Network.
I'm Weston Tishome with another essential black film. The semi-autobiographical tale of an up-and-coming musician comes to life in 1984's Purple Rain, starring music icon Prince as the struggling band leader in search of success in the vibrant Minneapolis music scene. Purple Rain showcases the multi-talented Prince who not only battles rival musician Morris Day for the affections of girl group leader Apollonia.
Well, for starters, you have to purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
But also struggles with inner demons. The film's cast includes Clarence Williams III, Billy Sparks, and Jerome Benton, and features performances by Prince and the Revolution, Morris Day and the Time, and Apollonia 6. With only a $7 million budget, Purple Rain went on to gross over $75 million worldwide. The film also won an Academy Award for Best Original Song Score and was added to the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress in 2019. Considered one of the greatest musical films ever produced, Purple Rain is another essential black film. I'm Weston Tishome for the Black Information Network.
The opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints expressed in this commentary are those of the author and do not necessarily represent those of BIN and its founding partners and employees. Now it's time to bring the funk with Roland S. Martin.
The sheer insanity of white conservatives and their opposition to diversity, equity, and inclusion continues in Texas. and at my alma mater, Texas A&M. Kathleen McElroy, a black woman, a Texas A&M graduate, a distinguished journalist who worked for the New York Times, who later became head of the journalism department at the University of Texas at Austin, accepted the opportunity to revive the journalism program at Texas A&M. Big fanfare. She was signed to her contract. They had a signing ceremony, photos taken, videos taken. All of these things were done. Then all of a sudden, when her offer goes to the Board of Regents, they begin to raise questions about her covering race and diversity when she was a journalist. So what do they then do? They in turn strip her offer, knock it down to a one-year contract, no tenure, and fire her at will. She rejects that and returns to her previous post at the University of Texas at Austin. This, folks, is beyond shameful. It is pathetic. It is utterly ridiculous. And as a Texas A&M graduate, I am appalled. Shame on the Board of Regents. Shame on President Banks. Shame on Chancellor John Sharp for what they are doing. And I'll say this right now. If you are a black athlete, and if you're a parent of a black athlete, do not allow your son or daughter to go to Texas A&M. Because what they're saying is, you could come there to be a student, but you can't come back and work for the university. Enough is enough. It's time for black folks to fight back. And I will not support Texas A&M in any way until they apologize to Kathleen McElroy, reinstate her offer, and offer her tenure. I'm Roland Martin on the Black Information Network.
Trusted Black News.
The Black Information Network.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's what's trending. Sheila E. will make history when she receives her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame today. She will become the first female solo percussionist to have a Hollywood star. And that's what's trending from the Black Information Network.
Sports on the Black Information Network.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is the 2023 Home Run Derby champion, and the 93rd edition of the All-Star Game is in the books. The National League pulled off a victory over the American League in Seattle with the final score 3-2. Elias Diaz crushed a go-ahead two-run home run in the 8th inning. His mother was in attendance.
That was incredibly special for me, to have her here. A lot of emotions with everything that we've been through, all the sacrifices that she made for me. It was really special to have her here for me.
The Atlanta Braves had a Major League Baseball leading 8 players suited up for the big game, while the Texas Rangers led the American League with 6 selections. Braves second baseman Ozzie Albies.
We're playing a phenomenal game right now, and the 8 of us on the All-Star game takes a lot already. We just, go out there, taking care of the baseball every day, and that's what we do.
Los Angeles first baseman Freddie Freeman.
You don't go into the season trying to be an All-Star, but when it happens, you try to take it all in these 2 days. It's so much fun. The best players are here, and you get to hang out for 2 days instead of competing against these guys.
Milwaukee Brewers pitcher Corbin Burns.
I've been blessed to be able to do this 3 years in a row now, and it's never any different. You come in and you're always amazed at the players that you're with, and just to be put on this level in this category of players is special.
Hit your sports at 14 and 44 past each and every hour. I'm Ray Harris on the Black Information Network.
A special thank you to Sony,
a proud founding partner who shares and supports the mission of the Black Information Network.
Harold George Belafonte Jr. was born March 1st, 1927 in Harlem, New York. He served in the U.S. Navy during World War II and then began his career as a singer in the 1950s.
I had to leave a little girl in Kingston.
His music combined elements of calypso and other Caribbean rhythms, and he became known for his hits like Deo and Jump in the Line. Belafonte also acted in several TV shows and films, including the groundbreaking 1957 film Island in the Sun.
I was tired of Mr. Free. What we want is equality.
Belafonte was equally committed to social justice, working alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and other civil rights leaders. He used his platform to raise awareness on issues such as apartheid in South Africa and the fight for voting rights in the United States. Harry Belafonte passed away on April 25th at the age of 96, but his legacy will continue to live on through his contributions to music, film, and civil rights. Rest in power to the one and only Harry Belafonte. This is Bill Black on the Black Information Network.
Entertainment news on the Black Information Network. Aretha Franklin's sons are in court over the Queen of Soul's multi-million-dollar estate. issue are some handwritten wills found in various locations, including in a sofa at her Michigan home after her death in 2018. 3 of Franklin's 4 sons were originally divided over which will is legit. But recently, a judge told the jury to only consider the authenticity of one of the documents. Franklin's estate is worth millions. And speaking of respect, Drake is only a few shows into his All of Blur tour, and he's already getting things thrown at him on stage. During a recent show in Detroit, Michigan, Drizzy was forced to duck after being pelted with bras, shoes, and hats that were being thrown on stage from the crowd. He told fans he was grateful to be back at the Little Caesars Arena, but asked them to stop throwing bras at him while he's performing, adding that he feels like he's on cleanup duty. And this isn't the first time. About a week ago, he paused the show in Chicago after being hit by bras on stage. In more positive news, Drake and Nicki Minaj are reuniting for his forthcoming album, For All the Dogs. The Young Money artist recently reunited with Wayne for Minaj's track, Seeing Green, in 2021. Drake didn't reveal anything else about his upcoming album or the collaboration. With the latest entertainment at 17 and 47 minutes past each hour, I'm Morgan Wood on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Time now for traffic and weather.
On the Bay Area's BIN 910.
In Berkeley, we still have this accident working on westbound 80 at Gilman. It continues to block the 2 right lanes, a big rig, and 2 pickups involved in this crash. One of the pickups is overturned. Emergency crews are still on scene. Traffic slows down at Carlson Boulevard. You're looking at least a 20-minute delay. Let's see if we can get you around that. Here you go. Take Cutting Boulevard, work your way over to San Pablo Avenue, and that will get you around that delay. But there's no estimate on when they're going to be able to clear this earlier crash. Over to Redwood City, southbound 101 at Whipple Avenue. 2 cars blocking the 2 left lanes there, tangled up in a crash. This one has traffic slowing down at Holly Street. Skies will be clear tonight, lows in the 50s. Tomorrow going to be sunny and a bit warmer with highs in the 80s and 90s. We're going to hit 100 by the weekend. Get ready. With Bay Area traffic and weather, I'm Ricky Batiste on the Black Information Network.
Black News, Black Podcasts. This is the Black Information Network.
I'm John Marshall.
And I'm Bree Wood on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
The trial of a former Grand Rapids, Michigan police officer charged with second-degree murder has been delayed.
Prosecutors say that former officer Christopher Schur's action in shooting and killing 26-year-old Patrick Loyola while scuffling with him after a pursuit in April of last year were not justified. Schur was to go on trial in October, but that has since been pushed off the calendar due to an appeals court case involving the officer. No new trial date has been set. I'm Morgan Wood on the Black Information Network.
According to court documents, witnesses reported that a white man used racial slurs before fatally stabbing a black man named John Roan Jr. outside a gas station in Kansas City, Missouri on Independence Day. The witnesses stated that the attacker called Roan the N-word in a racially motivated manner before the assault. Roan entered the gas station bleeding from multiple stab wounds and died at the scene. The police later arrested a 36-year-old white suspect who had a folding knife with blood on the blade. The suspect has not been charged, and witnesses did not positively identify him.
Senator Tommy Tuberville is changing his mind after refusing to say that white nationalists were racist. The Alabama Republican received a flood of backlash Monday night for defending his past comments that white nationalists in the military were not racist by definition.
His doubling down comments were condemned by both Democrats and Republicans, with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell saying white supremacy was simply unacceptable in the military and the country. On Tuesday afternoon, Tuberville appeared to have a change of heart, telling reporters that, in fact, white nationalists are racist. I'm Natasha Williams on the Black Information Network.
And Bank of America is being ordered to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in fines. The bank is accused by federal regulators of multiple violations, including overcharging customers on fees and opening accounts without customer consent. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has ordered Bank of America to pay customers more than $100 million and another $90 million in fines. Bank of America is also being ordered to pay $60 million in penalties by the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. Bank of America is a proud founding partner of the Black Information Network.
Data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reveals that July 2022 had the highest number of unintentional drowning deaths since 2018 in the United States. Nearly 800 people died from accidental drowning that year, with over 4,000 drownings occurring annually in the country. Drowning is the leading cause of death for children aged 1 through 4, and the second leading cause for children aged 5 to 14, and black drowning rates are 1.5 times higher than those of white people. The American Academy of Pediatrics and the National Drowning Prevention Alliance emphasize the importance of water safety measures such as barriers, active supervision, swimming lessons, and the use of life jackets to prevent drownings. I'm John Marshall, along with Bree Wood, on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
100,000 BIN listeners were able to advance their careers or succeed in a new one. It would be one step towards building a better future for all of us. To learn more about the 100,000 Careers Initiative, visit careerbuilder.com/BIN. If you've got a story, we want to know about it. Call the Black Information Network hotline at 855-500-9BIN.
Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app.
Your story is our story.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910. Your money on the Black Information Network.
While you're saving big bucks with your Prime membership, the 2-day online shopping spree, Amazon Prime Day, is wrapping up. But experts say buying yourself a treat because it's on sale can affect your mood.
There have been studies that show that these deals actually invoke positive emotions.
Texas A&M professor Thomas McMillan says that finding a deal hits the same buttons in our brain that prehistoric man felt in the thrill of the hunt. It's a serotonin bump that makes us feel good. He says it's unclear whether those good feelings make us want to shop more, though.
It gives you the positive emotions that you have, and it makes them feel great.
McMillan says there have been plenty of studies showing that finding a great deal affects a shopper's mood.
Anything from a sense of accomplishment, whether that's, the thrill of the hunt, seeking out these deals.
And some experts think dopamine plays a role. Dopamine increases your desire to seek out things that make you feel good, hence retail therapy being a favorite go-to for many. Money news at 24 and 54 past each hour. I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Because trust matters.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910.
I'm Bree Wood.
And I'm John Marshall on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
A Minnesota woman has officially been charged after an investigation of a racist rant against a black Uber driver last year.
38-year-old Jill Berquist, who is white, alleged that the Uber driver, Wesley Gakuo, refused to take her home and then punched her. According to the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, she repeatedly called him the N-word, damaged his personal property, and called police. The incident happened in April of 2022, and Gakuo recorded the entire ordeal and posted it on YouTube. Berquist was charged with falsely reporting a crime and disorderly conduct. The false reporting charge was recently removed. She's due back in court in September. I'm Natasha Williams on the Black Information Network.
A new study from Rutgers University Newark is linking an increase in the risk of Alzheimer's disease for Black Americans to a lack of sleep. The study, published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease, followed a group of healthy Black adults around the Newark, New Jersey area. Participants completed a sleep survey detailing their personal habits. As a result, researchers found those with the high-risk gene variant for the disease who said they get enough sleep were protected from developing early signs of Alzheimer's compared to those who said they had poor sleep quality. Experts say improved sleep habits can help decrease your risk of memory loss in older age. Media personality and entrepreneur Angela Yee is putting her money where her mouth is when it comes to investing in the Black community.
According to Afrotech, Yee was recently on hand to help celebrate Black women executives at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. Angela Yee was the keynote speaker at the 2023 Elite 100 Wealth and Legacy Summit. She shared how her property investments led her to Detroit, Michigan, where her latest purchase is a 30-unit building in Midtown Detroit. The goal is to help formerly incarcerated women with housing upon their re-entry into society. I'm Morgan Wood on the Black Information Network.
Adidas and New York-based accessories designer Tuli Yato have collaborated on a limited edition version of the Forum High shoe inspired by the Black designer's handbag collection. The shoe was released on July 8th. Tooley says this collaboration is, quote, bigger than her and emphasizes the brand's advocacy for black women and all women breaking boundaries, especially for the female sneaker enthusiasts. I'm Bree Wood, along with John Marshall, on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. Now here's